Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
A violent crash on the east side sends a mother and her 4 children to the hospital. Topping our news at 11, that crash involving a stolen truck that witnesses say was going 100 miles an hour through a neighborhood when it crashed ran into that mother's car.
Fortunately, the injuries are not believed to be serious. Tim Pamplin is on the east side tonight with a night cam.
The wild sequence of events playing out at State Fair in Alcoy, Detroit's northeast side. The crumpled stop sign and car fluids is all that remains here this evening. But earlier, that pickup reported stolen out of Macomb County. Once it was back on its wheels, what is all this then?
A machine gun? Look, right there!
Yes, Detroit police find the AR-15 with its 30-round clip fully stacked. Police say they weren't chasing this vehicle, just happened to be in the area when they noticed it doing excessive speeds before it crashed into a car with the mum and 4 young children inside. They are all conveyed. Said to be minor bumps and bruises. Let's take a look at the tape. Brandon Henderson and his Ring doorbell saw the whole thing go down.
Saw children crying, and I saw the woman on the ground, and then I saw the guy hop out of the car and run right down my alley.
That's right, Brandon went running to help the victims, but then the man the police were after was running directly towards him. He did an about turn, ran right back into his home.
The first thing was to protect myself because I saw a threat coming towards my home. So, the first thing was to get in the house and try to get my family safe.
Again, you hear the sirens coming as the crash occurs. Police, however, on the record tonight saying they were not pursuing. So to recap, the suspect still on the loose, the family in that minivan all expected to be okay. I normally sign off here, but I think I'm going to leave the last word tonight to Brandon.
Man, it is too crazy out here. I say for the young kids, man, just find something else to do. Focus on y'all talents and y'all hobbies because we hurting each other out here. And this is not what's up. This is not okay. It's not cool.
Isn't that the truth?
Mr. Henderson, you are on the money.
Exactly. All right. Well, that was Tim Pamplin reporting. We appreciate that, Tim. In more news tonight, Oxford High School students are heading back to class this Thursday amid a lot of uncertainty.
The district reaching out to parents this week with updated safety plans, and those are getting mixed reviews so far. Mara McDonald live in Oxford tonight, and some of the new tech being used here. Has parents pleased, Mara?
That's right, Devin. I mean, the new systems they're putting in place that can detect weapons, parents say, yes, that's great. What they are still concerned about, this updated threat assessment policy. Let me show you why. When students return here Thursday, there will be plenty of new tech and equipment in place.
There is progress. We have the Evolve system coming in, which is basically a metal detector, and we also have the Zero Eyes. So we are excited about that coming in. The students had wanted that.
Students and parents lobbied for this. In addition, the school board reviewed its beefed up threat assessment policy.
We're now going to have 3-4 people involved in every single threat assessment. And we've been doing, last year, I heard about 5 to 7 a day, right? So the key is working with our children from an emotional state.
Parents say without a full accounting of what led up to the shooting last November, it's hard to know whether it's enough.
The staffing, the training for staff, and the support for our staff is what we're lacking.
Parents have repeatedly asked for an independent third-party investigation after the school board turned down AG Dana Nessel's multiple offers to conduct a review and bear the cost. The district reversed course and has a law firm out of Grand Rapids and investigators out of New York hired to review. Parents are dubious this will be truly independent. Back here live and speaking to Andrea Jones, one of the parents you heard from, she says in her estimation, one of 2 things happened last November. Either the policies in place were not followed, or the policies as written were not effective in changing the outcome here. Either way, there needs to be a change. But what is the change? What does it need to be if you don't have a full accounting of what happened here? I will say this, the school board made it clear that they have rallied their resources. They are ready for return to school, and they are well aware that students and staff are going to need care and support. We're live in Oxford tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
And it is just about here. All right, Mara.
Tonight, it was all about prayer, not just for Ukraine and its independence, but for the people fighting that war.
In the growing darkness, there was light. As another day comes to a close, the war in Ukraine intensifies. Events to celebrate Ukraine's Independence Day canceled as the country's president warns Russia may try to do something particularly nasty or cruel.
I can't even think about it too much because you get tired of crying.
Thousands have been killed, civilians among the dead.
For me, it's very difficult because my family in Ukraine, and I just took my kids and we went to USA to be safe.
Olga Yelevinko and her daughters, a few of the millions forced to flee the country they love. Tonight, they prayed for Ukraine and those who were fighting for it.
We came here to pray for Ukraine. To pray, and we want Ukraine to win.
She had to leave her husband behind. Among the hurt, the anguish and disbelief over what's happened is hope for what's yet to come.
It's very important to me because I know that Ukraine will win, and all world together with Ukraine.
And as early as tomorrow, the Biden administration is expected to announce the largest weapons support package yet for Ukraine in the tune of $3 billion. Reporting live tonight in Warren, I'm Pamela Osborne, Local 4.
Okay, Pam, thanks.
A jury has delivered guilty verdicts for two men accused of conspiring to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer back in 2020. Adam Fox and Barry Croft Jr. were convicted of 2 counts of conspiracy related to the kidnapping scheme and attempts to obtain a weapon of mass destruction. It was, of course, the second trial for the 2 men after a jury failed to reach a unanimous verdict back in April. The 2 others charged in the case pleaded guilty and testified against Fox and Croft. They're now facing life in prison.
The verdict confirms that this plot was very serious, very dangerous, posed a threat not only to the governor personally and her family, but also to innocent bystanders and to basic social order. No governor, no public official should have to contend with what Governor Whitmer contended with here. All of our elected officials, everyone, deserves to be able to live in safety and not in fear.
We should note here 2 others were acquitted in that first go-round of trial. Defense attorneys, though, for Fox and Croft are expected to appeal.
A setback today regarding the repair of a water main break that caused a boil water emergency across Metro Detroit. A replacement pipe that was supposed to arrive today is delayed and will now arrive in segments between Thursday and Saturday. The Great Lakes Water Authority says there was a delay at the manufacturer. The plan was to have the repair completed by September 3rd, but the team is reviewing whether this delay will impact that deadline. One man in custody after police say a 5-year-old little boy died from accidentally shooting himself in the face.
Investigators say the child found the gun in his bedroom at a home on Oakfield on Detroit's west side. There were 2 children at home at the time, ages 5 and 7, and a 29-year-old man described as the child's uncle. He was the adult in the house. He's in custody tonight, and charges are pending. Meanwhile, Detroit police kicking off its bike patrol enforcement today on the city's west side. The patrols include officers handing out gun locks to any resident who wants one.
In light of what happened yesterday is why we wanted to make sure that we were in the community today and passing out gun locks so that we can discuss and talk about awareness and safety for operating or owning weapons or guns.
Detroit police will be conducting the bike patrols on the city's east side this Thursday.
Emergency work is underway along I-94 in Macomb County to protect part of the freeway threatened by erosion. The trouble spot is the Rohrbeck Extension Drain near the freeway in Roseville. The work is being done along 13 Mile between Gratiot and Little Mac. Crews will then move to Little Mac between 13 Mile and Masonic. The concern is that the erosion is happening rapidly and could cause the freeway to collapse.
When they built I-94 years ago, they backfilled it all with sand. So what's happening now, it's not really good earth, it's all this sand. And every time there's any kind of activity in that drain, the bank is just shelving off. It's 2 foot, 4 foot, 6 foot, 8 foot loss that's happening in a very rapid time frame.
Construction is expected to last a few weeks.
Tomorrow, President Biden is expected to announce his decision on student loan forgiveness. According to the Associated Press, the president will cancel $10,000 of federal loans per borrower if they make less than $125,000 a year. The president's also expected to extend the repayment pause that's been in effect since the beginning of the pandemic. We'll follow it tomorrow.